So today I'm working on a Cavalier. It's a 2001. I bought it for a family member and I've been trying to fix it up. The issue that I have is the engine's not running. You turn the key, the fuel pump buzzes, cranks over fine, it's not running. Just happened out of nowhere. So now, to the inexperienced or the experienced, because this threw me for a loop, is car crank's healthy, you hear the fuel pump buzzing, why isn't it running? So I pull the plug, I had spark. The way the system's set up, there's no fuel pressure test port. So in order to test if there's fuel, you gotta pop a line off, which can be dangerous because it could spray fuel everywhere. So the next thing I did was I unplugged a fuel injector and I put in a annoyed light and the light flashed. Told me the injector was pulsing. So I tried to run it on starter fluid and it started, which tells me no fuel. There's at least 3 gallons in the tank because I put fresh gas in there. So you gotta ask yourself, why would the fuel pump buzz yet it's not getting to the engine? Well, that's what I'm gonna find out today. All right, so far I got the tank out and I can already see that over the years somebody has been in here. The locking ring should be underneath this hook, so it's not even seated properly, which would explain the fuel smell that I've had. This thing is not even seated on there. Then on top of that, I have a couple extra hose clamps, a couple broken parts. So, I mean, it's an old car. Someone's been in here before, but we'll get in there and see what happened, because it was buzzing, but nothing was coming out, and almost nothing came out of the fuel filter. So, stay tuned. All right, so I got the pump out. I disassembled the holder assembly to get all apart. And what I found was inside the bottom is like a pre-filter to the pump. It snaps onto the bottom of the pump. The pump sits in this holder, sits over there like so. I don't be too specific here. And what happened is, where it curved, it was collapsing into the passage. So this whole mesh is just tearing apart, and all that cloth is clogging right into the channel in there. So that's why the pump is buzzing and I'm getting no fuel. So never assume that something is working. That is the #1 mistake when you're working on cars. I hear it pumping, so it's got to get fuel. That is false. Well, she runs. So like I said before, never assume just because it's functioning that it's working. When you heard the fuel pump noise, but it wasn't working, hopefully you can hear this. If not, I'll record it again clearer. So this video is to let you know that not all new parts are good parts. If it sounds like it's working, doesn't mean that it's working. Always follow the proper tests. I don't currently own a working fuel pressure gauge, or else I would have used that. So that's why it took me a little bit longer to diagnose my own car. Which, you know, you've been doing this for so long, sometimes you get a car in front of you and you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do. But if you just follow your old school processes, whatever you had set in place, start with the basics, air, fuel, spark, and then go from there. I would have found this out a lot quicker than if I would have just kept assuming it's this, it's that, it's the other. But first check I did was take off the intake, spray some starter fluid in there. It started right up, told me I was missing some fuel. So, you know, went ahead with the annoyed light test and everything else. Not in that order, but you get it. So fuel pump was buzzing, it was still bad. The sock ended up collapsing and clogging it. I just replaced the whole fuel pump because I'm not gonna go through all that work just to see that I gotta do it again on this old POS. But hopefully this helps somebody out there. You know, this applies to any car. I don't care what car you got, Chevy, Ford, Mazda, doesn't matter, Mercedes. People always tell me, but Lou, I just put a new part in there. Well, sometimes the quality of part you put in there is worse than the one you took out. Not only that, what if you replace the part you didn't need and it's bad quality, so now you have more than one problem. So I never suggest to replace anything until you can figure out the issue. So hopefully this helps somebody. Hit me up at www.cartechconnect.com and I can help you with your car problems. Have a good one.